It's number 1 versus number 2 here in the Division 6 level at Chico State University as the Chester Volcanoes get set to take on the Reading Christian Lions. Good afternoon, everyone. Jeff Kurtz alongside Frank DiRienzo. Frank, as we look at today's ball game, an interesting matchup in that there's a lack of hardware for both of these squads in terms of basketball championships. Chester's last final was in 1995. They won. Reading Christian just one appearance. They ended up on the losing side of the score against Happy Camp last decade. And so now these two teams looking to make some new history here today.
Yes, of course, Jeff. And yes, these teams are pretty good, pretty evenly matched, even though Reading Christian does have the defensive advantage as I've looked around the league, and some analysts and stuff have said that they're the better team. They have a much larger bench than Chester, and but Chester is a pretty scrappy team, even though they have only 9 players on it. We were talking to the coach earlier, and their 5 losses this season, one was by 20 points, but the other 4 were by a combined 12 points. So, you know, they can come back and win a game. I think they were down by 15 at one point, as the coach said. So we're looking for, should be pretty good at the end of this game. Joe
Gilmore, the third-year head coach for Chester, a longtime coach in the Bay Area at Campolindo and Alhambra High Schools. Meanwhile, Todd Dwyer just in his second year as the head coach for the Reading Christian Lions. But Reading Christian, Coach Dwyer has coached these seniors now from the time they came in as freshmen. Coach Dwyer, the JV coach for 2 years, now his second year on the varsity. And he says this team has come a long way, and they need, like you mentioned, a very good defensive performance tonight.
And that's a big advantage, having the same coach over 4 years. It builds loyalty, it builds trust, and also it's going to, I think it's going to be reflected here on the court tonight.
Reading Christian led by Garrett Thompson, one of their senior guards, also David Robinson. Garrett Thompson looking at going to Simpson College in Reading, an NAIA school. He's considering that right now. Meanwhile, Wyatt Durkin and Thomas Kelly, 2 of the big bodies we'll see for Chester up front, but it is really Chester's ability to run the Princeton offense and a lot of back cuts. We're going to see a lot of back cuts, a lot of backdoor passes, threading the needle on the part of the Volcanoes guards. That's going to be critical for their success tonight.
And they're also going to have to get through 2 big men for Reading Christian as well, and that's David Robinson and Adam Friesen. And they have 1 block per game over the course of the season, but, you know, they are by far the leaders in block shots and rebounds for this Reading Christian squad. And another thing about Garrett Thompson, he averages 15.7 points a game over the regular season. So that's a lot of points over a 30-game season. So, you know, we're hoping to see a whole bunch from him tonight, I hope.
Chester won league. They have a record of 24-5. They are the number 1 seed in the Division 6 basketball tournament in the northern section. Reading Christian, the number 2 seed, a record of 23-5. As we mentioned, both of these teams have played each other this year twice, and each team, the road team, won. So neither team held serve at home, and now we got the rubber match here at the championship game on a neutral floor here at Chico State University. What should we anticipate for today's game? Frank, what do you see taking place over the course of the next 32 minutes of basketball?
Well, this Chester and Reading Christian teams, they've had a long road through the playoffs, but as I can see from the numbers here, they have breezed through the playoffs. Chester versus Bernie was 74-51, and so it was almost 20 points there. And we're going to pause now for the national anthem.
The national anthem complete, the starters introduced. And let's introduce you to the starters for today's ball game. First for the visiting team, the Reading Christian Lions. David Robinson, wearing number 0, gets the nod for Coach Dwyer's Lions. Garrett Thompson, wearing number 1, also will be starting in the game. Jordan Moran, wearing number 10, all 3 seniors, all 3 guards. Adam Friesen in the front court, along with David Griffin. Friesen wearing number 24, Griffin number 42. Meanwhile, for Chester, Wyatt Durkin wearing number 0, David Estacio number 1, Hunter Morris number 2, Micah Bondin number 10, Thomas Kelly wearing number 15, your starters for the Volcanoes. Chester in the white jerseys with green lettering, green trim, white shorts going right to left. On your screen, Reading Christian, the black jerseys, purple trim, purple lettering, black shorts. They are going left to right. In the center circle, Thomas Kelly for Chester and Adam Friesen for Reading Christian. We are underway, and quickly Reading Christian wins the tip. On the attack, shot no good. Ball tapped around. Reading Christian's now going to set up the offense.
And we were talking to the Chester coach, Joe Gilmore, before the game, and his keys to the game were they have to stay out of foul trouble, and they're going to have the big man at the high post. And also they're going to work on their transitions from offense to defense. And so we should be able to see that.
And an unusual play, jump shot Friesen. The ball sticks between the rim and the glass, and that results in a jump ball call and a possession arrow that favors Chester. That's right, Chester's going to go to the triangle in 2, which means 2 players all over David Robinson and Garrett Thompson. And then Kelly at the high post playing some tough D. No score in the ball game, 7:22 remaining opening quarter, and now Chester's going to work it around the perimeter. 20 on the shot clock on the exchange with Bondin. Bondin on a cut, gets the ball on the left block, turnaround jumper no good, rebound to the Lions. Nice board underneath.
And so this...
and quick push the other way and a steal.
And I think they need to slow down a little bit on offense. They're a little too jittery out there, and the adrenaline is pumping, I know, because it's the last game, but they're going to have to slow down and, stop from turning over the ball.
Yeah, turnovers are also going to be critical, and this one is on the drive and leaving the shot a little bit short. Nice defense, Wyatt Durkin. Here is a long lead pass, and we've got a whistle and a foul, and that foul is going to go against Thomas Kelly. For Kelly, that'll be his first, team's first.
And that's exactly what I was talking about right there. They were trying to get a fast break, look a little like the 80s Lakers there. But if you keep doing that, they're always going to turn it over on defense, or if you're lucky, you'll get a foul. But the chances are low on that. So
Robinson with the basketball, wearing number 35 tonight instead of number 0 for Reading Christian. On the penetration, we got a whistle and a travel, and that travel goes against Friesen. So a lot of turnovers here early, and both coaches talking about playing good defense, and that's what we've seen here through the first minute 40. Scoreless in the ball game. High post Durkin on the left elbow. Here's a three-point shot, strong, rebounded by Garrett Thompson.
And by no means that was a bad shot. He was wide open. He had the look.
And here's a shot from the right elbow by Robinson, no good, and it's tapped out of bounds, going for the rebound by Thomas Kelly. A little bit of nerves probably going on out here right now. 2 minutes of basketball, no score.
And I think it's just the anticipation of the game, and now that it's started, it's starting to, you need to wait for it to wear off, the adrenaline a little bit. And so these guys need to take it a little bit slower.
And there's Robinson on the penetration with a bucket in the first 2 points of the game.
And see right there, that was a nice smooth little transition into the paint, and he made it, and here we go, another fast break.
Nice strip by Garrett Thompson. Back the other way, Robinson tracks the ball down in the corner and stepped on the baseline. So another turnover right back. Double dribble on the play. Good call, or good strip by Garrett Thompson defensively. Guarding his counterpart, David Estacio, both wearing number 1.
And Reading Christian is still trying to use that fast break mentality here, and it's not working out too well.
Shot short on the drive by Hunter Morris, who's just checked into the game for Chester. Here's Robinson, dumps down low along the baseline. With the ball, that was David Griffin. Ball swung around the perimeter and knocked out of bounds, and we've got a whistle. That foul is going to go against Thomas Kelly. That could be his second. And it is. Boy, that was one of the things Coach Gilmore was talking about before the game, Frank, is we need to stay out of foul trouble, and Reading Christian's going to try to get in it, and lo and behold, we're not even 3 minutes into the game, and Kelly's got 2. Here's a jumper in the key, Robinson strong, rebounded underneath, put back short from Friesen, and here comes Chester. All the way down the court, knocked out of bounds on the drive. Hunter Morris loses the ball, but it was last touched by the Lions.
And if these guys keep doing this fast break back down the, very aggressive, it's kind of like throwing caution into the wind because there's a higher risk for injury.
Here's a three-pointer, front iron, no. That one from Jordan Moran.
It was a good look, but he didn't take enough time on the shot.
Here's a floater off the glass. Nice-looking shot by Estacio. And we're tied at 2. 4:38 remaining opening quarter. High screen, and no, we got an illegal pick. Illegal pick on Friesen, his first, team's first, and that will be a turnover back to the Volcanoes. Bringing the ball up the floor is Thomas Kelly. Kelly playing with those 2 personals is picked up by Griffin. Into the front court, Durkin. Durkin to Bondin, he puts up a 3-ball, no good. Rebounded underneath Moran. Thompson with the ball in the front court. Thompson around to pick. Careful with those elbows there by Robinson. He could have got called for one there. Instead, jump shot, back iron. Battle for the loose ball. Going to be grabbed by Reading Christian, who right now has the advantage on the offensive glass. We got a reach from the backside against David Estacio down low, and that'll be Chester's 3rd team foul.
And that was a really strong offensive rebound there. He was in a whole lot of trouble, a lot of arms flailing everywhere, but he came out with it. So good job to keep it on this side of the court.
Garrett Thompson looking for the basketball, and we're going to have a foul on Morris, as Morris trying to deny Thompson the ball. Part of Coach Gilmore's strategy into the ball game, replacing David Griffin, is number 34, David Denias. Denias into the game. Denias, Moran, Thompson, Friesen, and Robinson in the game right now for Reading Christian in a 2-2 ball game. Denias' pass is going to be deflected. Kelly trying to track it down, loses the ball. And finally, Reading Christian coming back up with it. Nice job, Denias staying with the play. Here's Robinson into the key, dumped down low. Nice feed, layup strong. And the ball will be knocked out of bounds by Friesen. And you see guys rushing just a little bit too quickly, Frank. You highlighted that with Chester. There we see it with Reading Christian.
And it's just going back and forth here. And we've already played some time in this game, and the score's only 2-2. So
nice shot by Kelly as he breaks that 2-2 tie with a nice behind-the-back dribble and square up from 15 feet. Robinson loses the ball. Denias picks up the garbage, gives to Thompson. 3:18 left, first quarter. This is Robinson. Nice fake into the key. Gets caught in traffic. Kicks out to Friesen. Friesen to Thompson around a pick. Pull up 18-footer right corner, front iron, no. Long rebound, Robinson. He's going to take it into the key and back it out. Now tries to split a double team. Goes deep. I don't even know how he got through all those guys. Wow, found a crease and gets the layup.
That's the best play of the game so far. That was pretty good.
Robinson leads his team with 4 points. 4-4 our score. 2:45 left first quarter. Morris thinks 3, drives, pulls up from 16 and banks one home. Long lead pass the other way goes to Jordan Moran, who's going to back it out. And Thompson's going to shoot an NBA 3, and that is nothing but the bottom of the twine.
And that was another thing that the coach for Chester, Joe Gilmore, said that if they start dropping threes, they're in real trouble. So
layup from Durkin, no good with the left hand. 2:10 left in the quarter. Reading Christian up by 1. Thompson fakes, drives into the key, scoop shot all the way. That was pretty. 9-6 our score. Reading Christian up, under 2 minutes to play opening quarter. Into the post, Durkin with it on the right block, and we got a pushing foul underneath against Friesen. That's his second personal, team second. So now each coach has got a little bit of foul trouble on their squad from critical players. Adam Friesen's got 2 for Reading Christian, and Thomas Kelly's got 2 for Chester. Inbounds pass, almost stolen by Thompson. It
And
is stolen by
Oh,
Thompson.
and then stolen right back.
And it's going to be finally knocked out of bounds by David Griffin, who's checked back into the game. Griffin in there with Moran, Thompson. And then coming in for Friesen, I was surprised to see Friesen back out there, is Ryan Duncan. So Duncan in for Friesen. Robinson stays in the game. Meanwhile, Kelly, Estacio, Micah Bondin driving and travel with the basketball. Durkin still in there, and Hunter Morris for Chester. Another turnover by the Volcanoes, and Coach Gilmore not happy. Inbounds pass from Friesen to Thompson.
I wouldn't be happy with that. Any coach won't be happy with that.
And we got a foul on Morris, who runs right through the screen and commits his second personal. So that's the 5th team foul against Chester. Here with 1:37 to play in the opening quarter, and they've got 2 players with 2 fouls each, and they're still in the game. So Coach Gilmore rolling the dice here a little bit. Robinson to the basketball. Excuse me, that was Denius. Denius gives to Griffin. Thompson out high, around a pick by Verhoog. Verhoog gets a return pass in the pick and roll, goes down along the right baseline. Nice pump fake by Griffin, but he gets stuck inside. Verhoog gets the ball, tapped out to him, and hit cans a 17-footer. Welcome to the game, Luke Verhoog. Here's a quick 3 by Chester, strong. Long rebound goes to Moran. Moran pushing, he's got a 2-on-4. Back out, Thompson wants another NBA 3. Lines it up and misses, wide right. Nice board by Estacio. Morris, he's going to put up a 3. That was a quick shot, nothing but the glass.
Yeah, he should have planted his feet there and just taken just a little tiny breath and make sure that one went in.
Griffin with the ball, right elbow. Griffin picks up the dribble, skip pass, opposite side. Denia's open for 3. His shot, front iron, tracked down by Bondin.
And Bondin, good rebound on the defensive side there.
Shot clock turned off. Chester could hold for 1. Instead, they launch an NBA range 3, and Estacio hits 1. So much for holding for the last shot. 11-9 the score. 16, now 15 seconds remaining opening quarter. Thompson with the ball, goes right side. Verhoog outside the 3-point arc with 10. Denias swings around, faking a 3, now with 7, with 6, taking it into the key. Griffin gives to Verhoog, left side. He hits a 15-footer.
That was a great pass. It was a little no-look pass to the left-hand side.
And a 3 at the buzzer by Kelly, no good. And Luke Verhoog off the bench with 4 points gives his team a 13-9 advantage at the end of the first quarter play. You're following the action on PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Well, tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to PlayOnSports.com/SBP.
Jeff Kurtz alongside Frank DiRienzo. Frank, your impressions through the first 8 minutes?
It was really quick quarter of basketball, and I do mean quick. Both of these teams were trying to get each other on the fast break, but with their similar speed and size, it just wasn't working out. And so a lot of turnovers, a lot of fouls. And I just think for the rest of this game, they just need to slow down. Like I've been saying through the first quarter, they need to slow down, take a breath, and take those shots that need to be taken, and get out of that foul trouble and stop taking unnecessary risks.
Coach John Wooden, in his infinite wisdom, used to say, "Be quick, but don't hurry."
Right.
And Chester looked like they were hurrying a lot in that first quarter.
It was just, every time they got the ball, they were down the court in 5 seconds. You know what I mean? They, and here in high school basketball, you got 35 seconds on the clock, so you can take your time, make the offense work for you. And I think that's what they need to do here.
Verhoog on the floor with Denias, Thompson, Robinson, Griffin. And here's Verhoog, who's feeling it right now. This time the shot is long. Rebounded, quick outlet. Kelly trying to track it down. There's another case where Chester pushing a little too quickly. Out there on the floor, Eddie Perez. Bondin, Durkin. Here's a pass down low. Reading Christian, the shot no good. Rebounded by Kelly, and we've got a whistle and a timeout. A 30-second timeout is going to be called by Joe Gilmore, who is not a happy camper over there along that sideline. So it's Bondin, Durkin, Kelly, Eddie Perez making his first appearance, and David Estacio for Chester. So Coach Gilmore chatting his team up because they got the ball off the rebound, and then the long outlet pass that really wasn't there, Frank.
Right, and they just keep rushing that that attack, and it has not proved useful. The only time that they've actually put points on the board, they're not the 9 points they have.
Well, they've been doing it in the set offense.
Well, right, and so it's just they haven't been taking the time, and the shots that were made were. They took that breath, they planted their feet, they got a good look, and they made it happen. So, that's where we're going to have to see more from Chester here, like I said before, but they just need to stop rushing it.
Nice strip by Griffin. Good defensive play. Kick out. Thompson goes left side. This is a three-pointer, and that is good by Jordan Moran.
And Reading Christian, they are also getting a little quick there, but they're slowing it down when they need to. And he got an excellent look there, and it was just a pure three all the way.
And a 5-second call against Kelly. Great D once again by Griffin, who has a steal and forces a turnover. Coach Gilmore is saying, hey, he crossed the 5-second timeline. You got to go past the hash mark and make a move toward the basket. And Coach Gilmore is saying, hey, he did make that move, did Kelly, but no call, no agreement from our officiating crew. Verhoog swinging the ball around Thompson, and straight away three again, back iron, no. Long rebound goes to Eddie Perez.
And it's going to be
knocked out of bounds. Nice hustle by Moran. This is one thing Coach Dwyer was talking about before the game. If you see us diving on the floor for loose balls, really getting after it defensively, I am happy with what we're doing. And he's got to be very pleased by what he's seen from his Lions ball club so far.
And, yeah, it's just they're doing an excellent job on both sides of the court. And they're getting the looks they need on offense, but they're also shutting down on the other side of the court, too. So
Kelly's three is long off the feet from Durkin. Pushing is Robinson. Robinson all the way into the key, loses the ball, picks it back up. Looking for some help, turns around, squares up a 14-footer, and drops it in. And it's going your way.
Yeah, and that was a breakdown in Chester's defense right there. They took his eye. Everybody took their eyes off of him at one point, and all he had to do was just turn around and just make the shot.
As a pass from Bondin is going to go out of bounds, and another turnover by Chester. 18-9 the score, 6:01 left in the half. Back into the ball game, Hunter Morris, and he will replace Micah Bondin in the lineup.
And so doing these fast breaks and all that is going to tire out your team very, very quickly, and the shots are going to start to look shaky, and it's just going to be harder from there. So they need to pull up out of this little slump they're having here in the second quarter.
Here's an 18-footer by Robinson. No. Battle underneath. Loose ball is grabbed initially. The offensive rebound snagged by Moran, but then he turns it over. Back the other way. Here's a fast break opportunity. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by Reading Christian. Nice job by the Lions getting back in transition. Substitution into the ball game. Verhoog, some nice minutes off the bench. He will come out, and Duncan in.
Yeah, and Luke Verhoog, what a great job. What a great job
points in the first quarter.
Of course, yeah. It was a good offensive right off the bench, so we'll have to see if they utilize that later on in this game.
Durkin goes left side. Kelly wants a pick. Now a pick and roll. Durkin slips the screen, goes up, draws the foul. That foul looks like it's going to go against Robinson, and we're going to have our first trip to the free throw line in the ballgame for either team.
And that's surprising with all the foul trouble. None of them have been a shooting foul
for Robinson
so far. Yeah, I mean on both teams. This is the eighth foul we've seen, and this is the first shooting foul we've seen.
Durkin cans the first one. His team has their first point of the second quarter coming at the 5:21 mark. 18-10 our score. That was the first personal on David Robinson, the third team foul on Reading Christian. Second free throw, no good. Rebound by Duncan. Into the front court with the basketball. This is Griffin along the right sideline. Griffin looking for some help. Gets it to Robinson.
They're setting up their offense very nicely here to capitalize on Chester's aggressiveness down in the paint.
Griffin is going to travel with the basketball. Nice job by Durkin, acting as the final line of defense, protecting the paint.
I guess I spoke too soon.
Well, it looked like Griffin just made a quick move to the basket, still with a lot of time on the shot clock. Just under 20 seconds were left on that clock. Under 5 minutes remaining first half. Kelly into the front court with a left hand around Griffin, and Griffin's going to get called for a push. For Griffin, that's his first, team's fourth. You shoot the 1 and 1 at the 7th team foul of the half, and when you hit 10, it's double bonus time. As into the ball game, David Denius, Moran, Thompson, Robinson, and Duncan still in the game for Reading Christian. Kelly on the spin move all the way in. He's going to draw a foul. That's probably going to be on Denius, and back to the free throw line go the Volcanoes.
And so just within a minute here, we've seen 2 shooting fouls now for Chester. And so Reading Christian's going to have to try to take away some of that momentum.
First free throw is good from Kelly, who now has 3 points in the game. Well, it's an opportunity for Chester to get back into the game, close the gap with the clock stopped. They have yet to hit a field goal here in the second quarter.
And that's really the wrong way you want to get back into this game if you have to rely on your foul shots. And so, you know, I think they should just take my advice that I've been giving them the whole first half.
They need a feed right to our broadcast. Here's a shot by Robinson that is no good. Rebound Kelly into the front court. Nice feed underneath. Durkin gets the layup on the dime from Estacio.
And the fast break finally worked there. And so they found the man underneath, and
Duncan's post shot.
And that'll work.
No good. Kelly gets the ball. Kelly's got a 4-on-3. Kelly corner, pull up 3-pointer on the way. In and out, no. Durkin the board, back up and in.
Great. That was a great rebound and put back there. He did a little spin motion there, a little 360 right to the basket, and now they're within 2. Thompson
around to pick. Pass down low along the baseline. Back out to Thompson. Wide open for 3. You can't leave him that open. He leaves it short. Durkin another board. And his pass stolen by Robinson. Left-handed layup. What a heads-up play.
Reminded me of a little Larry Bird in the playoffs.
That's right. Somewhere Isaiah Thomas felt a twinge.
Right.
Kelly with the basketball. Almost has it poked away, and we got a foul. And if it's on Robinson, that is his second.
And so we're seeing a lot of fouls in this game, and that's just the aggressiveness of both teams. And, that's what it shows here in this game.
Robinson out, Denius out. Max Straw in for the first time for Reading Christian. David Griffin back in the game. Kelly with a left-handed dribble. Gives off to Perez. Ball swung around. Estacio tries to backdoor it a little bit too high. Griffin the steal. Griffin pushing. He's got a 4-on-3. Picks up the dribble. Wide open for a 3-pointer and leaving it short on that shot was Straw. The rebound by Hunter Morris. Morris gives to Perez. Nice ball movement. Estacio in the corner. Out to Durkin. He's got 3-point range. Back iron almost. Kelly the rebound.
Great rebound there. Just kind of just snatched it from his man right out from. Well, actually over him.
Good ball movement. This one's going to be knocked out of bounds by Duncan. Pass intended for Perez. 25 on the shot clock. 2:48 on the game clock. Reading Christian leading it by 4 here in the second quarter.
And you can actually see that Chester is definitely the taller team here, and so they're getting a lot of rebounds just based on their height.
Inbounds pass. Now pass goes back down low. Kelly tries to get along the baseline, flings one up, no good. Nice defense by Griffin, who's really bodying up Kelly in the first half.
And that was a shot he should not have taken. He should have passed it back out. They had plenty of time to make something happen.
Here's a shot by Moran. In and out, no. Rebound Durkin. He's having a nice quarter. Perez gets around Griffin. Perez down the left sideline. Out to Kelly. He walked. 2:22 left in the half. Folks, at halftime, Frank and I will step away for a few moments. Come back with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Give you an update on the leading scorers. Get you set for the second half on our second game of 10 over 2 days here in the northern section. Griffin with the ball along the left baseline. Back out to Straw. His first three was not pretty. The second one is. Third 3 of the game by Reading Christian. And they're back up by 7.
And like I said before, if they start dropping those threes, this Chester team's going to be in real trouble.
Chester has had a lack of three-point shooting. Here's Durkin putting one up. It rims out. Nice one-handed rebound with a left hand by Thompson. Griffin front court. Straw wide open again. He's feeling it, but he misses. Tap to Thompson. Nice no look. Duncan along the baseline, 17-footer, good.
And they kind of gave up defensively on that one right there. And, you can just tell by the open look he had. He had all the time in the world to, to hone in on that target.
Nice move by Kelly. Takes it into the key, then throws it away. Reading Christian once again forces a turnover by Chester. It was a 2-point game a moment ago. Now a 7-0 run by Reading Christian. A timeout, a full timeout, called by the Chester Volcanoes with 1:19 left in the half. 25-16 the score. Reading Christian leading it over Chester in this boys Division 6 championship game.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Jeff Kurtz alongside Frank DiRienzo. Ron Borges, our producer for today's game. Justin Barney running the camera. Representing the cast from PlayOnSports.com, covering games around the state of California this weekend, folks. We are doing games live from, of course, Chico, where we are today, but also Sacramento, Fresno, San Francisco, Oakland, all around the Bay Area, San Jose as well. Wall-to-wall basketball, 66 events over 3 days starting yesterday in the Sac Joaquin and Oakland sections. We are certainly your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Inbounds pass. Thompson with the basketball, a fresh shot clock, and a chance to give his team a double-digit lead for the first time in the game. Around a pick by Straw. Thompson now around a pick by Eric Hovland, who's checked into the game for the first time. Corner three, strong by Straw, and the rebound goes to Estacio. Estacio bringing it up on Moran. Exchange with Perez. Morris, corner to Kelly. High post Durkin, step back three-pointer, his third attempt, no good. Rebound underneath Perez, battle for the loose ball, jump ball, possession arrow favors Chester. 46.5 seconds left in the half, 35 in the shot clock for the Vols. Oh, nice backdoor feed. Perez misses the layup.
Man.
Straw gets the tap out.
Yeah, it was a good effort there, but just didn't fall in for him.
About a 10-second differential between the shot and the game clock. Thompson almost has it stripped. This is Moran. Moran. Duncan thought three, instead gives to Thompson. Thompson travels. Hesitated and forgot to put the ball on the floor.
There's been a lot of traveling penalties in this game so far, and it's really worked in Reading Christian's favor, not so much in Chester's. Chester's going to have to get some momentum going
right
here
before the end of the half.
Yeah.
Certainly a bucket on this final possession. Kelly loses the ball in the short hop. Now he's bodied up by Griffin. Kelly, nice crossover into the front court. Shot clock turned off. 23 on the game clock. We got a charge. Wow. Stepping in front, Griffin. This kid has been all over the place. Perez picks up his first.
And what a great plan of the feet right there by David Griffin as he takes the charge there. So that was a smart move there.
Stepping right in front as Bondon will replace Perez. Thompson back in. He's got the dribble. The shot clock turned off. 18 seconds to go in the half. Thompson waves off the screen by Straw.
I think that was the first time I've ever seen a charge go away from the basket. So
nice pick by Griffin. Thompson on the penetration. Pull up 16-footer left elbow. Good! His first points of the quarter gives his team a double-digit lead. Three-pointer at the buzzer short. And Reading Christian is going to take an 11-point lead into the break.
And just a great half of basketball. Very high intensity. And it didn't go the way Chester probably wanted it to go, but they'll regroup here at the half and they'll come back, and I'm sure we'll see a just as high intensity as we saw in the first half.
This game is being played at Reading Christian's pace, their style of basketball. 27-16 your score. We'll be back with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show in just a few moments, folks. Please stay with us. Halftime here in the northern section, 27-16 your score. Reading Christian, the number 2 seed, with the lead against the number 1 seeded Chester Volcanoes. Jeff Kurtz alongside Frank DiRienzo as we look at the leading scores from the first half of play. First for the Reading Christian Lions, David Robinson leading his team with 8 points, 4 in each of the first 2 quarters. Garrett Thompson has 7. Luke Verhoog with 4 points off the bench. Max Straw with 3 of his own as well. Jordan Moran also has 3. And Ryan Duncan off the bench with 2. That's 9 bench points for Todd Dwyer's Reading Christian Lions. Meanwhile, for the Chester Volcanoes, Wyatt Durkin and David Estacio tied with 5 points apiece. Thomas Kelly with 4. Hunter Morris with 2. And Frank, as we look back at our keys to the ball game before the start of this game, Todd Dwyer says, look, we're a good defensive team. We weren't as good in the second game against Chester. We got to step that up tonight, play good, disciplined pressure defense, and they have certainly been doing that. And David Griffin typifying that for Reading Christian. He doesn't have any points in the game, but he's forced a number of turnovers, had some steals as well.
Right, and one of their keys that we learned from the coach earlier in the game was to stop the transition. But as we can see, in stark contrast to that, the keys to the game for Chester was to be better on the transition. And so, these two teams, they know what their tendencies are. And so far, it's showed a strong game in this first half.
Coach Gilmore, Joe Gilmore for the Chester Volcanoes, saying, look, if we're hitting threes and we're getting out in transition, we're doing well. I'm happy. Well, they've hit 1 3 so far after multiple looks. They're getting out in transition, but they're not converting. And the reason they're not converting is they seem to be rushing a little bit. But how much of that is being dictated by the defensive tempo that Reading Christian is putting on Chester, or is it mistakes of the Volcanoes' own making?
I believe it's the mistakes of their own making. They're shooting themselves in the foot quite a bit here in this first half, and it slowed down a little bit in the second quarter there, but they just need to be smart, think, and like I said before, plant their feet, breathe, and take the shots that need to be taken. And
it sounds somewhat zen the way you say it, Frank, but it's actually the case. If you take that extra half second, you'll hit the jumper. And I think about Jordan Moran, the 1-3 in the second quarter. He did, with a lot of activity around him, take that brief pause and then nailed a 3 from the outside. In other instances, you see Chester rushing their shots and coming up short.
Right. And Reading Christian is also playing pretty good defense here, and so they're not getting a whole lot of opportunities to make good shots, and so there's the game right there, and so we're gonna have to see if it changes here in the second half.
Reading Christian will start out with the basketball. Again, they're in the black jerseys going right to left. Robinson, Thompson, Moran on the floor along with Griffin, and back in Adam Friesen. We'll talk about the foul situation in just a moment. The Volcanoes counter with Durkin, Kelly, Bondon on the floor. Also, as here's a jumper from the free throw line that's going to be short, rebounded underneath by David Estacio. He's out there and pushing and into the corner, given off to Morris, who feeds Durkin in the middle. No. Rebounded by Moran. And those are your starters. Chester in the white jerseys going left to right. Robinson with the ball. Around a pick by Friesen. Hits Friesen. Backdoor, nice steal by Bondon. Coach Gilmore telling his team to push. Thompson's going to deflect one out of bounds. Chester will retain possession. Foul situation. 2 players with 2 personal fouls for Chester. Hunter Morris with 2 off the bench. Thomas Kelly with 2. Meanwhile, for Reading Christian, they've got 2 players with 2 personal fouls. Here's a 3, strong. Rebound underneath. Nice putback by Morris. He's got 4 in the game.
And that was
Friesen with 2, and Robinson with 2. Frank, go ahead.
And that was a really good little offensive rebound and a putback there, and that was a great little play. I just wanted to comment on that.
Friesen with the ball goes post side. Robinson backs it out, drives baseline, and loses it off his foot out of bounds. Well, the Volcanoes seem to be coming out, and you could get, even on that layup attempt by Morris, he took his time, where in the first half they might have rushed that shot. Right. He took that extra half breath and hits the layup very easily on the first bucket of the second half. Here's Kelly on the drive, knocked to the ground, loses the ball. No call. Griffin once again, great D, pulled the chair on him. Friesen, spin move, Durkin, nice D, cuts him off. Here is a jumper, Robinson from 10.
And that was a good little feed. there, and he found a little pocket in the zone there and made a great shot.
Durkin with the ball, faces up, backdoor stolen. Moran read it all the way. Now he's got a 3-on-1. Moran's got choices, gives to Friesen, layup good, and the foul.
And what a great transition there to a little fast break 3-on-1, and he draws the foul, and you couldn't ask for a better play than that.
Friesen with his first points of the game, and this is the first trip to the free throw line for Reading Christian in the ball game. 5:55 left, third quarter. Free throw good. Conventional three-point play. That foul was against Hunter Morris. He's got 3. 14-point Reading Christian lead, their biggest of the game. Pass in the post, Kelly goes up strong. Rebound underneath by Thompson. Thompson, we've got a whistle and a foul. Our officials for today's game, Jeff Kassar with that call. Tom Miles is our lead. Robert Shelby also out on the floor. That foul is going to go against Chester. That is their second team foul. And the first foul of the game on Wyatt Durkin. Bringing it up, Moran. Moran guarded by Bondin. Nice crossover by Moran. Kick, skip pass. Friesen passes up the jumper, instead gives to Robinson. It's his neighborhood in the key right now. He hits another. 12 in the game for David Robinson.
And that was a great little play in the paint to put up that shot.
16-point advantage for Reading Christian. Playing very well right now. Morris to Durkin. Bondin with 17 on the shot clock. Outside, nice fake, and Morris traveled. Substitution. Morris is going to come out of the game with those 3 personal fouls. Into the game for the first time, Jeremiah White for Chester. Bringing it up, Robinson. Robinson drives, takes it all the way, loses the ball. We got a kick basketball, and Robinson bailed out a little bit. He was moving free and easy, like a guy who sees the basket, looks like the Pacific Ocean right now, but maybe forcing a little bit too much. Moran to Friesen.
Put a little there's a little check down there. That's what that was.
That ball is going to be knocked by Bondin out of bounds. 27 on the shot clock, 4:50 remaining third quarter. 34-18. Reading Christian with the lead. They have led throughout. Pass into Friesen in the block. Oh, swatted by Durkin, and the ball knocked out of bounds once again by Chester. Chester's just not getting the ball bouncing their way. Durkin, a great play. They lose the ball out of bounds. Bondin knocks the ball away. It goes out of bounds. Ball just not bouncing in the Volcanoes' favor right now. 22 on the shot clock.
And I completely agree. That was a great play by Durkin.
Oh, great. Moran, good-looking 3, just missed. White the board. Estacio, a crossover, takes it into the key, dump down low. Durkin, nice catch in traffic, goes up, draws the foul. That'll be the first team foul of the second half on Reading Christian. We'll see who this is on. A lot of choices. If that's on Friesen, that's going to be his third. That is his third. So each team now with a player with 3 personal fouls. Hunter Morris, who's on the bench for Chester, and Friesen, who's going to be on the bench in just a minute, picked up his third. Free throw by Durkin, dribbles in. He's now 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Friesen will come out, as will Robinson. Ryan Duncan into the game for the first time in the second half, as is David Denius.
And this Chester team is great with the come-from-behind win, and so we're going to have to see the last little part of the third period here, or the third quarter, I should say.
Well, they need to get this to single digits again before the start of the fourth quarter,
Absolutely.
Frank. And right now they trail by 15. Durkin missed the second free throw. Pass down low is going to be knocked away and stolen by Chester. Long outlet. This is White. He goes up. He's going to be fouled by Moran. Moran employs the no layup rule, and White to the free throw line. For Moran, his first personal, the team's second. And Jeremiah White, who did not see any action in the first half, at the free throw line. And his first free throw is good. Chester right now with more trips to the line. Reading Christian 1 of 1 in the game. This is the 8th attempt for Chester. They've made 6. 34-21, 4:15 left in the third. Still plenty of time left in this quarter. Thompson into the front court. Kelly running right next to him. Thompson around a pick by Griffin, takes it into the key, goes up, tries to get over Durkin. That's a lot to ask of your 5'9" point guard to get over the 6'5" center for the Volcanoes.
But that's what they've been able to do all night or all afternoon, I should say, on the Chester Volcanoes, find those little holes in the zone, and Chester's going to have to do the same thing against Reading Christian if they want to have success here at the end of this game.
White pull up 3, strong. Durkin had the ball for a moment, and Griffin tracks down another one. Outlet Moran. Moran loses the ball. Bondon is there, and then Bondon throws it away. And there's the rush. And you get the turnover. Bondon wants Durkin to get his hands up, but boy, that was a tough pass.
Yeah, a little rush there. It was too quick of a decision, and nobody was there, and that's the result.
Thompson bringing it up. Thompson into the front court. 3:35 to go in the third. Left side, Denius. Straight away. Duncan to Moran. Moran driving on Bondon. Into the post. Duncan with it. Back out Moran. Nice high-low game. Three-pointer strong. Rebounded by White, who's having some nice minutes off the bench for Coach Gilmore. And then as the ball poked away, battle for the ball. Denius is going to lose it out of bounds, and we got 4 players on the floor. It looked like a domino effect. Players just knocking into each other and falling over.
And there's that very
We've got a foul on the play, I believe. They're going to call that on Jeremiah White with a push on Denius. So that's White's first, team's third. Timeout on the floor. 34-21 the score. 3:11 remaining in the third quarter of play. It's the Division VI championship game right here on PlayOnSports.com. We're in the northern section where high school sports lives.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Jeff Kurtz alongside Frank DiRienzo. Division III action for the girls coming up after this one. Then we complete the evening with the Division III boys championship game. It's our first day of 2 days worth of coverage here in the northern section. Games taking place around the state of California. I invite you to check out other action because we move into the state tournament next week. And you get a chance to see who you might be playing down the road by looking at some of these other sections. But for Division VI, this is it. Final game of the year. They do not advance to the state tournament. Divisions 1 through 5 at the state tournament level and the open division. First time we're having an open division in the California State Basketball Tournament. We'll have the finals for you on PlayOnSports.com on March 22nd and 23rd. Denius, Thompson, right side, 23 on the shot clock. Around a pick by Duncan. Pass to Griffin. Griffin with 19. Backdoor. Moran loses it off his hands, and it's actually going to be deflected by Chester. Excuse me. It looks like Estacio got the last piece of the ball. 17 on the shot clock. Thompson finally gets into the corner to Duncan. Denius to Thompson, left side. Thompson poked away. Nice play by Kelly. Kelly with the ball. Kelly the feed. Morris can't find the handle. Another turnover with an opportunity for Chester.
These turnovers are piling up.
Griffin on the drive. Nice feed. Duncan gets Durkin in the air and draws the foul. Nice heady play by Ryan Duncan. He's to the foul line. Durkin's picked up his second. Boy, just when Chester looks like they're getting something going, they get a defensive stop. They have given it away multiple times throughout the game on the break. Duncan hits the first free throw, making passes that are just very, very tough.
And I think it's really Reading Christian that's setting the tempo for this game. For Chester, it's forcing Chester to play at their game rather than I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, they're forcing them. Reading Christian's forcing them to play their style of basketball.
Right, their style of basketball. And that, that's never good for a team. Regardless of what sport it is. And so they're trying everything they can, but you know, they're just clutching at air most of the time. But they do score a point there, the first in a little while here.
Durkin on the layup after the feed from Kelly with the assist. 2:08 left in the third. 13-point game, 23 on the shot clock. Thompson with the ball. Around a pick by Griffin. Gives to Friesen, who's just checked back in. One dribble, dish to Griffin. Griffin still scoreless in the game. Puts up an 8-footer short. The rebound, Durkin. Durkin outlet, Kelly. Kelly in the front court with the basketball. 28 on the shot clock. Nice behind the back move into the key. Floater, strong. Durkin had the ball. He's going to be fouled. Loose ball foul. Nice show of sportsmanship by Denius. I just fouled you, knocked you to the ground. I'll help you back up.
That's what it's all about here. That's number one. Sportsmanship and safety. Well, safety, then sportsmanship.
That foul on Denius is his second. Team's third. Chester to inbound. Denius is going to come out of the game. Robinson back in after an extended rest. Kelly to Estacio. Perez is going to be pushed by Garrett Thompson. That's just the first on Thompson. Team's fourth. Each team now with 14 fouls. 1:32 to go in the third quarter and a fresh 35-second shot clock for Chester.
And this is what Chester needs to keep the ball on this side of the court down here.
And the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds by Griffin, who's just been playing outstanding defense on Kelly. Kelly, 4 points in the game, only one field goal. Griffin, just one personal foul. Kelly in the backcourt. Kelly better get across that timeline. He does. 1:20 left in the third. Kelly looking for Durkin. Ball swung instead for a long three. Estacio front iron. Rebound Perez. He's going to be fouled going up. He's going to go to the line, and Griffin just picked up his second and the team's fifth. So this is going to help Chester. If they can get in the penalty, again, you stop the clock every time you get fouled. You get to make up points with the clock not moving. That's exactly what Chester needs.
And it's giving their players a little time to rest too. Just even though it may be brief, it's helping. It helps quite a bit.
Perez misses the first one. Up off the bench, Trevor Roberts in the game, or at least he'll be in for the shooter in just a moment. Bondon in, replacing Hunter Morris, who will step out with the three personals. Perez looking to make the second of two. He leaves it short. Rebound goes to Friesen. 13-point game, bringing it up Thompson. But Coach Dwyer's got to be pleased. He's kept a high-scoring offensive team to just 23 points through almost three quarters. Robinson crossing over, spin, back into the key, kick to Griffin. Shot Moran has the ball knocked away, retrieves. 10 on the shot clock.
Chester showing a little life on that defense here.
Griffin takes it in, kick out, Friesen 17-footer no, the rebound to Kelly. Kelly has it poked away, tracks it down. Corner Bondon a long three. That's an air ball, but Estacio grabs it. He's going to put up a three. That one front iron, no. The ball is going to be saved by Bondon. Bondon this time, will he hit iron? He does, but the ball no good, and the ball will be then knocked out of bounds by Reading Christian. 20 seconds left. Roberts in for Perez. Luke Verhoek back in the game. He's going to replace Thompson.
On those last three shots, they finally found a little hole in the Reading Christian defense. It just wouldn't fall down.
Out to Kelly. Swung to Bondon. Bondon, nice fake drive, and then is fouled on the drive. Lucky there, Kelly telling him, hey, why were you trying to pass that? Just take it all the way, you had a step. Instead, that foul is going to go. Let's see, what's the call here? It's on Robinson, that's his third, team sixth. Robinson's going to come out, 16.9 left. Roberts with the ball. Kelly wants it. He's got 13 on the clock. Griffin squaring him up with 10, now with 9. Kelly crossover with 8, 7, takes it, gives off Bondon. Bondon step back three-pointer on the way, back iron no. Rebound Moran with 2, with 1, gets the shot off, and that will be it for the third quarter. 36-23 the score. Reading Christian by 13. 8 more minutes of basketball, and we will have a D6 champion right here on your destination for high school sports. Play On Sports PlayOnSports.com.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us on Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Well, Frank, 9 points in the quarter for Reading Christian, but they hold Chester to 7, and they've held them to 23 through 3 quarters. Outstanding defense by the Lions.
And Chester was showing a little bit of life there at the end of this third quarter. Who knows, it might be enough to stave off a huge blowout here, but you could see Chester getting in Reading Christian's head a little bit, and Reading Christian's starting to get tired out there. All these players are getting tired, of course, but
still,
yeah.
Reading Christian's managed to win the quarter. So there you go. You're getting tired. Chester's starting to pick up the tempo a little bit, and you still outscore them 9-7.
Hey, what can you say?
Yeah,
Chester was finding, like I said before, those little holes in the defense, and that's what they got to capitalize on here if they're going to, speed to the finish here, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be over before we know it.
Well, and the Volcanoes, one loss to Reading Christian this year. They were down big late and closed the gap and lost by a mere 4 points. They need a big fourth quarter push here. The sooner the better. Kelly with the ball, looking for a pick from Durkin, gets it. Pulls up, 17-footer on the way. Hangs on the rim and falls in. Just Kelly's 6th point of the game and just his 2nd field goal. 11-point advantage. Here's Robinson on the drive. Out to Friesen. 24 on the shot clock, Robinson with it. Chester crowd with a chant of defense. Nice crossover by Robinson into the key. No look feed for a beautiful layup by Friesen.
Nobody saw him over there on the right-hand side of that paint. Nobody saw him.
Kelly in the front court. Griffin continues that lockdown D. Kelly's going to drive. Gets stuck in the corner, gives to Durkin. Durkin, spin move into the key, puts up the shot. Players hitting the court, and we got a foul, and Durkin's going to the free throw line. That's a 7th team foul as well, so shooting the rest of the way is Chester. Meanwhile, David Robinson just picked up his 4th personal, and he leads his team with 12 points and had a nifty assist a moment ago.
And Durkin's a pretty good free throw shooter.
First free throw, no good.
Right.
Of course, as soon as you say that, he's 2 of 5 from the line in the game. Robinson's going to come out. Denius is in. Out of the ball game for Chester goes Trevor Roberts, and Hunter Morris will check in for him. Morris playing with 3 personal fouls. Durkin's 2nd free throw, no good. Griffin the rebound.
I spoke too soon.
Well, you need to can those down the stretch if you're Chester, now trailing by 13.
And that's going to be a big key to this this quarter here.
Under 7 minutes remaining. Griffin goes inside Moran. We got a foul on the floor. That'll be the 5th team foul against Chester. It's going to go against Bondon. Bondon picking up his first. Durkin, Kelly, Estacio, Morris on the floor for Chester. Griffin getting the inbounds pass. Denius, Thompson, who's been quiet offensively of late. Friesen and Moran on the floor for Reading Christian. This is Griffin. Griffin has it knocked away by Estacio, retrieves, takes it into the key, pump fake, pull up 7-footer, good! Griffin's first points of the game. 15-point advantage for Reading Christian, their biggest lead of the game. We got a push off by Kelly. Griffin forces another turnover. And Kelly has 3 personals. That's the 6th team foul. You can't extend that arm, and that's exactly what Kelly did. And a timeout, a 30-second timeout called by Coach Joe Gilmore. And he's looking for some answers over there on that Chester bench.
Yeah, he looks pretty hot over there. Talking to his players quite aggressively here.
Well, Griffin, we haven't been keeping track of how many turnovers he's forced. He only has 2 points in the game, but he's held Kelly to 6, which I got to think is below his season average, though Chester doesn't put up any stats where people can see them, but you got to think, given the player Kelly is, he's scoring more than 6 points a game. Griffin has a couple of steals. There he forces a foul on Kelly. That's in essence a turnover. He's knocked the ball away several other times. Well, and doing the whole thing with only 1 foul called when he's playing Kelly one-on-one. Another time he fouled somebody just on a reach-in on a scramble underneath the basket.
Well, they got to curb those turnovers. Offense scores points, but defense wins championships. That's what I was always told. So, they got to clean up the act a little bit here.
And Kelly just picked up his fourth, and it's nervous time if you're a Chester fan. Kelly is fourth personal. That's going to be a 1-on-1 situation. Garrett Thompson to the free throw line.
Thompson's had a good game.
Kelly,
today.
yeah, he has. 7 points in the game, no points in the second half. Free throw, no. Durkin the rebound.
And he still won't have any points this half. But he's still playing at a high level of basketball here, and he's shown it.
Durkin with the ball in the paint. Gets open, shot, good, foul. Friesen's picked up his fourth.
And that was a great play to draw the foul and get the basket there.
Durkin.
They need him to be strong in the paint because he's not small out there.
No, he's the tallest player on the floor. And he's got to start knocking down these free throws as well. 2 of 6 from the game from the line. Free throw good. Nice job by Wyatt Durkin. 40-28, 6:14 left. Friesen's going to come out. And Duncan is in. Ryan Duncan in. Griffin's going to bring the ball up the floor. Griffin into the front court. Griffin guarded by Kelly. Griffin crosses over into the key, drives all the way up on Durkin with the left hand and the foul. Are you kidding me? David Griffin.
What a great play. Fantastic.
He was looking for a guard to give the ball to. They had Thompson on the overplay. He says, all right, fine, I can handle it myself. And he draws the foul on Wyatt Durkin, his third. Free throw, no good. Durkin another rebound. 14-point game. Under 6 minutes to play. Nice pick. Kelly uses it, takes it into the key, drives all the way, floats one up and in. Surprised that Chester doesn't go to that high screen and roll a little bit more with Kelly. Here's Thompson, free throw line jumper, no. Kelly the rebound behind his back. Into the front court, it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Reading Christian. 5:38 remaining, 12-point game. Chester's trying to chip away at this Reading Christian lead. Bondin to inbound right in front of us. Estacio on the drive, takes it all the way and then tries to pass it. He should have shot it.
He was
had the layup.
He was passing to nobody out there. No man's land over here in the corner.
Well, he was looking for Durkin, but that's just a tough, a low percentage pass. Inbounds pass to Griffin. Estacio almost knocks it away. Griffin now calmly running the point in place of Robinson, who's out with 4 personals. Now Thompson's got it.
And now that they have the lead, they're trying to take a little bit more time off the clock here.
15 on the shot clock, 5:10 left in the game. This is Denius with 12 on the shot clock. Denius to Thompson now with 9, with 8. Crossover, Thompson takes it all the way and poked away. Morris has the ball. Morris.
He needs to be looking.
And he saves the ball, and Reading Christian comes up with it. Denius in the front court.
And like I said during that play, he needs to be looking over his shoulder. He had another guy out on the left-hand side of the court, or on the far side, I should say.
Griffin with the ball.
But he was determined to take that ball all the way.
He was. Here's Griffin on a cut, goes up, strong move, but a little too strong. Bondin. Bondin's got an open look, takes it all the way, layup good.
And they're within 10 now.
And a full timeout called by Chester. They are within 10, 42-32 with 4:22 remaining. Don't go anywhere, folks, right here on PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to PlayOnSports.com/SBP. I'd
like to thank Justin Barney for providing us all the video for this game. Ron Borges doing a great job running the producer role for us on Play On Sports. Chester hanging around. 10-point gap, 4:22 to play. Frank, is that enough time for the Volcanoes to come back?
I think it is. They're showing a little signs of life here at the end of the third quarter, and now the beginning of the fourth quarter. They've started to try to figure out Reading Christian's defense, and it's not too late yet. When we get down to about 2 minutes, it might be. I might be able to call that better. But for right now, they do have a strong chance to get back into this game, and they already have. Now that they're only down by 10.
Robinson back in the game for Reading Christian. He's out there with Thompson.
And Chester
Griffin, Denius, and Duncan. Chester's going to counter with Perez, Bondin, Jeremiah White back in the game, Durkin, and Kelly. And now going into a half-court trap with 14 on the shot clock is Chester.
And
now 12.
Chester's going to look to get a little bit more aggressive on defense to make them force a shot so they don't take too much time off the clock.
Griffin misses the jumper. Kelly the rebound. Pass underneath. Perez. Layup. 8-point game. 3:42 to go.
And they're going to keep the pressure on them here.
Good idea. Quick ball movement required.
They got to make sure that when they double up, they're not going to leave somebody open.
Robinson, we got a blocking foul on Durkin. That's his fourth. So now Kelly and Durkin with 4 each and a 1-and-1 situation. Denius is going to come out, Moran in for Reading Christian. Estasio back in the ball game. He'll replace White. And at the free throw line, David Robinson, who has 12 points in the game, the only player in double figures for Reading Christian. He misses the free throw.
It's a lucky break for Chester there.
Bondin with the ball, gives to Kelly. 3:22 to play. Durkin high left elbow. Durkin guarded by Duncan. Duncan right in his mug. Kelly, three-pointer. This is huge. Front iron, no. Estasio taps it out of bounds. Perez.
And that would have been a huge three if they would have made that there.
Friesen will replace Duncan. Friesen playing with 4 personals, as is David Robinson. So we've got 2 players on each team right now on the floor with 4 personals. 3:12 to go. 8-point game. Moran goes corner Griffin. Here's Robinson back out. Moran thinks 3. Griffin with 23 on the shot clock. Robinson, a couple of dribbles, tries to pass it down low. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by Durkin. 2:56 remaining in the game, 19 on the shot clock. Thompson gets it into Robinson. Robinson, left side.
Defense is going to have to force him to take a bad shot.
Big 3, short. Rebound Estasio. Long outlet, and it's thrown away again, but fortunately for Chester, it's going to be off Moran. And Coach Gilmore is looking at Estasio saying, we don't need that, son. We're down by 8. Let's get a bucket.
And they need to stop making those extra long passes. They're low percentage when you launch them like that.
Kelly pull up from the free throw line. No, Bondin goes up high, but he commits the foul. Loose ball foul on Bondin, his second, and that's going to put Reading Christian in the double bonus. 2 shots.
A lot of fouls this game, a lot of fouls.
At the line, Thompson, who missed one a moment ago. In fact, in this fourth quarter, Reading Christian 0 of 2. Make that 0 of 3. This time Thompson with 2 shots. First one is in. Thompson is a good shooter, and you don't anticipate he's going to miss 2 free throws in a row. 9-point game. Make that 10. Reading Christian will call make that a 30-second timeout. 44-34 the score, 2:34 remaining. We'll keep it right here. Who do you go to if you're Coach Gilmore now, Frank? For Chester, they have been led by Durkin, who's got 11 points in the game, but Kelly with 4 in the quarter, he's got 8 overall.
I think you have to get it. That's exactly who you need to get it to, is Durkin down in the paint. You got to give it to the big man so he can make smart shots. But so far, they've managed to shut him down in the paint. The last 2 periods at least, or last 2 quarters at least.
So you're thinking Durkin down on the block, or do you do a pick and roll maybe out here with Durkin and with Kelly?
I think they should use the pick and roll a lot more. I've only seen it once or twice from this Chester squad, so they're going to have to utilize that a little bit more.
Well, Stasio is going to bring the ball up the floor. Durkin's lining up on the right block, now coming out high. Sets a pick for Stasio, who crosses over, takes it into the key, kick out, throws it away. Nice steal by Thompson.
And so look for this this game to ramp up on pressure.
Yep, and Stasio commits his second personal, but you got to do that here with 2:12 to go. You're running out of time. Unfortunately, you put the guy at the line who just made 2 in a row, Garrett Thompson.
And he's one of their better shooters.
Thompson, it's the first free throw.
He's been one of the better shooters on this squad, but he's been a huge influence in this game and why Reading Christian is up.
You know, his shot at the foul line very much reminds me of Steve Nash as he hits both. 4 in a row for Thompson, and he's got 11. And that's a good comparison right there with Nash, because Nash makes better than 90%. And right now Thompson's at 4 out of 5. That's 80, but I think he's going to get a few more opportunities. Here's Kelly on the drive, goes corner, open, 3, Morris, there it is. Where has that been for Chester in this game? 10-point advantage again. Here's Robinson all the way for the layup.
And so they put it right back.
Bondin in the front court. He's going to step back for 3. Good! 2 in a row. 9-point game, 1:37 to play.
I believe the other one was just a 2-pointer. It's only 39 now.
So it was a 2 by Morris a moment ago. Now a whistle and a kick ball. So it'll reset the shot clock for Reading Christian. 1:18 to play. Nice catch by my broadcast partner, Frank DiRienzo. Morris only with the 2, but it was a really close shot. It was, if it's 19.9 inches to the line, he was at 19.8. And then Bondin hit the 3. But a 9-point game, and Reading Christian's going to call timeout. Couldn't get the ball in bounds. Smart play by Robinson. So with a 3-possession game right now for Reading Christian, and 1:18 to play, and 35 seconds on the shot clock. If you don't get the steal off the inbounds pass, you got to foul if you're Chester right away.
Right, absolutely. And Chester has no choice but to try for those threes now. And, you know, that's a...
Well, I might...
When you start trying for those threes, the percentage goes way down for shot percentage, sorry.
Well, I might put Kelly out of the game right now, put some other guys in, and put Durkin on the inbounds pass. He can't commit the foul there, and then you have everybody else foul immediately. Durkin and Kelly both have 4 personal fouls. And you don't want Kelly picking up his 4th or his 5th going for a steal. He's your primary ball handler.
Absolutely, and so you want to hope for those, those missed foul shots now. So
well, Kelly's going to stay in the game. So is Durkin. Out there, Bondin, Morris, who's playing with 3. And Perez. Robinson will inbound. They're going to put Morris on Robinson on the inbounds pass. But Durkin and Kelly are down deep in the paint. Goes into the backcourt to Thompson. Well, they're going to play it straight up. You don't want to foul now. You've already given off 5 seconds. And I think this plays to Reading Christian. They're letting him burn some clock. Robinson's just going to dribble around. No sense fouling now. 20 on the shot clock. Play it straight up all the way. Griffin on the penetration. Gives off to Robinson. Robinson with 13. Robinson, great crossover. 10-footer. No good off the back of the glass. Morris pushing. Morris into the corner. Perez open, and he traveled. No, he stepped on the sideline, too. He did a little bit of everything on that one. It's a turnover. 45 seconds left. Estasio into the game for Chester. Max Straw for Reading Christian. Durkin's going to come out. Robinson inbounding. Gets it to Thompson. This is the exact guy you want to have the basketball if you're a Reading Christian. And Thompson back to the free throw line where he's made 4 in a row. 43.5 seconds remaining. Reading Christian has been to this championship game just one time, in 2004, and they lost to Happy Camp. And I have a feeling in just a few moments it's going to be Reading Christian who's going to have Happy in front of their name, as the first free throw is good by Garrett Thompson. Robinson is going to come out, Griffin in, Friesen is going to come out as well. Actually, no, excuse me. Robinson will stay in. Straw is coming out.
That was Friesen.
And Friesen as well. Thompson
right.
hits both.
Sorry.
50-39, 41 seconds left. Kelly goes into the corner. One dribble pull up. Estacio hits the three. Where have those been all game? And another foul, and Thompson back to the free throw line. We're going to see a bit of a parade here, but it's an 8-point game with 32 seconds to play. I'm going to run out of room on my stat sheet for Thompson's free throws. He went the whole game without taking one, and now here in the fourth quarter, he's got numbers 8 and 9 coming up. No good. (50-42). Thompson misses both. Morris the rebound. Kelly into the front court. He's going to put up a three. Back iron. Battle for the rebound. Followed by Chester. No. Kelly's got to kick out Estacio. He's going to pull up for three again, and we got a foul. Moran thought he got all ball. Estacio wants 3 shots. Actually, that foul is on Robinson, and that is his 5th, and he will exit the game with 14 points. So Moran may have an argument, but the foul wasn't on him. Robinson has a nice game. He gets 4 points in the first, second, and third quarters, 2 in the fourth. 14 points for the game. And he is done. Max Straw in, Moran, Thompson, Luke Verhoog, and David Griffin.
Well, this is very interesting.
And Estacio at the line for some big free throws. And he misses the first one. I didn't catch if he's getting 3 out of these or 2. I couldn't see where he was in the line, and I haven't seen an indication from our officials, and we got a timeout call by Chester.
I didn't see one either, so
he's got 2 more. So yeah, it was a 3, so he's got 2 more coming. So with 19 seconds to play, if Estacio hits these 2, and he's got to hit these 2, Frank, to get it to a 2-possession game, it'd be 50-44, and then you're looking at another quick foul, even though Garrett Thompson just missed those last 2. I got to think he's the last guy you want to foul if you're Reading or if you're Chester, but you are short on options.
Right, and you're going to have to shut him down on the inbounds pass and try to get it to somebody who has a very low, shot making frequency from the free throw line. And that's your best bet now. That's your only option now.
Well, if the guys remaining on the floor, there's only one other player for Reading Christian who's taken a free throw. Griffin is 0 for 1 just in the fourth quarter. Straw has not been to the free throw line. Neither is Moran. Friesen is back in the game. He's 1 out of 1. That was in the third. And then, of course, Garrett Thompson, who's been the only other guy other than Griffin to go to the free throw line in the fourth for Reading Christian. Free throw good by Estacio. He's got 1 more coming up.
Well, you're just going to have to take your chances and play the odds here.
Yep.
So they would try to get it into one of these guys who hasn't made all of their free throws and just hope for the best.
Estacio short on the last one. Griffin the rebound. He's going to be fouled right away by Bondin, who picks up his 3rd. And Griffin to the line. 50-43 the score. 17.7 seconds remaining. I think Chester will look back at this game and say we had some opportunities. And Reading Christian will look at this game and say we kept a high-scoring team under 50 points. And that is the difference in your game.
And like I said before, the defense changes it, is the key.
Griffin at the line for 2, misses the first. That is one of the few blemishes on his record here today, though. 4 points in the game, now 0 of 2 from the line, but outstanding defense on Thomas Kelly. He's held him to 8 points. Second free throw is good. Quick inbounds to Kelly. Griffin picks him up. Kelly into the front court. Kelly corner Perez. Back to Kelly. 10 seconds to play. 3 balls short. Rebound loose on the floor. And what do we got? We got a foul. If that's on Kelly, that might be his 5th. No, they're actually going to give it instead to Estacio, his 4th. 6.5 seconds left. White and Roberts up off the bench for the Volcanoes. They will check in a moment. At the line, Adam Friesen. Friesen misses the free throw. He's got one more. 51-43 the score. Some substitutions for Reading Christian. Into the game for the first time, Nick Aventino. Eric Hovland back in the game. Moran is staying out on the floor. We get our first look at Hayden Piper. Friesen misses the second. Rebounded by Roberts.
5 seconds.
Into the front court, Estacio gives to Morris. Morris one dribble three-pointer at the buzzer is short, and Reading Christian is your winner. 51-43, their first title in boys Division VI basketball.
What a great game. Fantastic. Reading Christian deserved it. They played very, very hard.
Coach Dwyer said, we're a good defensive team. We need to stop the transition and play pressure D, and that is exactly what they did, and they held Chester to 43 points. 51-43 your final, folks. The award ceremony coming up, and then the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. We hope to have an interview with our player of the game for the victorious Reading Christian Lions, and we'll get you set for the girls Division III final. Once again, your final score, 51-43, Reading Christian wins it over Chester in boys Division VI. Back with more in a few moments. Back here on PlayOnSports.com. It's the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, and I'm joined by our player of the game from the victorious Reading Christian Lions, David Griffin. 5 points in the game, but why we have him over here is not because of the points he scored, but because of his outstanding defense, which really exemplified the defense you guys played today. You were all over the place. Did you look to yourself to be a catalyst defensively, drawing a really tough assignment against Thomas Kelly?
My dad always says that defense wins championships, and so going into the game, I knew that we were going to have to break them down because when you don't score, you play bad defense too. So I knew that was going to be the key of the game.
Well, you look like you have eaten that mantra for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, you came in like a man possessed. Coach was telling us before the game that, you know, in our loss to Chester, we didn't play as good a defense as we normally play. Was that your assessment? Was that the team's assessment as well?
We came out flat-footed before, and I knew I had something to prove this time. I knew he was going to be caught off guard, so I knew I had to be 100% and just take it to him.
We were amazed at your ability not just to stop Kelly and shut him down. He scored 8 points in the game, only 3 field goals from the field, 2 free throws. But on top of that, you were forcing turnovers, drawing fouls, getting steals. Would you say this is one of your personal better defensive performances of the year?
This is probably one of my better defense performances of the year, yeah. I mean, we're not a great offensive team, and so I know that we're going to have to play defense if we want to win, and I like to win.
Well, it certainly showed today. In your mind, what was the key to the game for you? When did you guys feel like, hey, this is really turning our way?
At the beginning of the game, we've been conditioning for the past 2 weeks hard, and so when we were running down the court and they were already struggling to keep up in the first quarter, I knew that the game was ours because they can't match our defense.
And first championship in Division 6 for Reading Christian. How much does it mean to the team in the school that you guys pulled that off?
It means everything. We haven't been to a championship game in the past 4 years, so we're starting to get back, starting to get on the right track.
How are you guys going to celebrate this win?
I don't know.
One thing at a time, huh? One thing at a time. Well, David Griffin, our PlayOnSports.com player of the game. Congratulations once again. 5 points, but even more outstanding defense and a championship performance.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. We'll be back wrapping up here on the PlayOnSports.com post-game show in just a few moments. Please stay with us.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
Back on the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, winding down from this boys Division 6 championship game. Jeff Kurtz joined by my broadcast partner Frank DiRienzo. And Frank, we heard it from David Griffin a moment ago. He said, my dad always told me defense wins championships, and that was certainly the case today. Mr. Griffin is a very smart man.
Hey, he's a smart man. So was my dad too. He got it right, and defense does win championships, and defense apparently wins player of the game as well. So, it was a great job from him, and it was a great job from this team, and they have a lot to be proud of here, and it's good to be the underdog and come in and beat the #1 seed, and it's always good. That's
exactly what Reading Christian did, and you make a very great point. I mean, in terms of player of the game, normally we pick the guy who scores the most points in the game, and that was David Robinson with 14 for Reading Christian. Garrett Thompson chipping in with 14 of his own, but instead we picked the guy who plays the best defense in the game, David Griffin, who had just 5 points, but was all over the place and held Thomas Kelly to just 8.
And when you do that, it moves momentum in your favor, not exactly on the offensive side of the ball, but the defensive side of the ball, and I believe that is more important than the other side of the ball. So.
Well, and Reading Christian said that as well, folks. That's going to wrap it up from Division 6. Boys, we're going to get ready for Girls Division 3. You might see them warming up behind us right now. I'd like to thank everyone on PlayOnSports.com who made today's broadcast possible. Justin Barney behind the camera. Ron Borges, our producer, for my broadcast partner, Frank DiRienzo. I'm Jeff Kurtz saying so long for the moment from Chico State University. But 2 more games coming up tonight, folks. Girls Division 3 and then Boys Division 3 after that. We'll hope you'll stay with us right here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.